Imagine this, you are about to give a speech to a large audience. As you step up the stage, you feel your heart beating, your hands trembling, your voice cracking. A flood of emotions overwhelms you. A lot of what ifs. What if you forget your words? What if you embarrass yourself? Your mind fills with fear. The room feels it's closing in. This is a common experience for many. Fear of public speaking often paralyzes us. But what if we could manage these fears? Seneca, a Roman Stoic philosopher, he observed that we are more concerned about things we imagine than the things that are. He says, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Like the anxiety about before a speech, these fears stems from our exaggerated thoughts rather than actual dangers. These fears can feel overwhelming to us, but are usually rooted in our imagination. Seneca, he advises us to focus on what is within our control and letting go of what is not. This is separation of task, things within our control and things outside our control. Epictetus says that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This means that our response to fears like anxiety about public speaking are more important than the fears themselves. By focusing on our reactions rather than the fear, we can manage and diminish their impact. Marcus Aurelius says the things you think about determine the quality of life. So, by changing our thoughts, we can change our experience of fear. And also, I like to share some practical strategies for handling fears. Understand your fears. Journaling about them can help identify patterns and triggers associated with your fear. Write down your thoughts, what you are afraid of. You can make that fear less daunting and gain insight about the fear itself. And then gradually exposing yourself to that fear. Face your fears by starting small. For example, you can start practicing public speaking in front of a small group. If you can handle 2 people, maybe try 3. Start with small groups, then build from that. Approach your fears in confidence. That will reduce the fear. Practice positive visualization. You can imagine yourself positively by envisioning yourself successful. Imagine delivering your speech flawless confidently. This will reduce your anxiety about it. Observe your fear without judgment. Sit with your fear. Be aware of your fear without getting overwhelmed by it. Now, time will reduce the anxiety. Also, if you need support, don't be afraid to ask for help. Many of us find it ashamed for getting advice or support from our friends or family. Seneca says there are more things likely to frighten us than there are to crush us. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. We are in a habit of exaggerating and imagining things and anticipating our demise and sorrow. Seneca advises us to not to be unhappy before the crisis comes.